No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Pow day.
Dude, let's go.
1970 was the year my dad, a Boise firefighter, started sunburst painting as a side gig. His dedication and love for this community was always inspiring to me. That passion led me to start rowpaint.com, turning what began as his side job into a family business that's been serving Boise for generations. For over 60 years in the Treasure Valley, the Rowe family name has been synonymous with hard work, dedication, and commitment to the community that's given us so much. We are a family-owned business who are proud to be sponsors of Boise State Athletics, to serve not only Boise, but our neighbors across Idaho and the surrounding states. From my father's first brushstroke to numerous paint and coatings projects today, we're here to make Boise a better place, one project at a time. Power in people, pride in painting.
It's game day. Are you ready?
Let's go!
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jacksons, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Bousher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course. It's time for the Jacksons Postgame Show on Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the ICCU YouTube chat, and we'll include the best ones on the show. Or leave us a message on the Signature Roofing voicemail line at speakpipe.com/BNN. The BNN Postgame Show is presented by Jacksons, where 25 cents from each hot dog sold goes directly to the Horseshoe Collective to support Boise State student athletes. Need snacks, a coffee, or cold drink? Visit a Treasure Valley Jacksons today. The title sponsor of Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. For all your painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Now, let's go courtside and join five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, for the Jacksons Postgame Show.
Fans, once again, when this game is over, we ask that you please do not rush the court.
Well, the final seconds, the final break. Leon Rice pulling his seniors, Tyson Degenhart, Alvaro Cardenas from the game. And they go one by one, embracing every coach, every player on the roster, as Boise State falls 69-56 in the Mountain West title game to the Colorado State Rams. Not the finish that Tyson Degenhart, Alvaro Cardenas, and the Broncos were expecting down here in Las Vegas. Tyson Degenhart saying, I really believed we were a team of destiny all week long, and the Broncos unfortunately not able to get it done. And they fall in the Mountain West title game, and we'll now see what happens tomorrow on Selection Sunday. How you doing, folks? My name is BJ Rains. This is the Jacksons Postgame Show here on Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. We're presented by our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. All your painting needs. Make sure you hit up our title sponsor, Andy Rowe, and rowpaint.com. Jacksons does have that 99-cent coffee deal. Anytime, any place, using your Let's Go Rewards app, you can get a 99-cent coffee at Jacksons. Jaden Finch along with us as well down here in Las Vegas. Disappointing one, no other way to say that for Boise State. Just felt like today was the day they were going to get it done and punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. And now the Broncos forced to sweat it out on Selection Sunday. And I'm just going to get this out of the way right now. I don't think it's a sure thing they don't get in. I think there's a real chance tomorrow they get in. I said that at some point, on a show this week. I forget who it was with Jay or Prater or Johnny, that I wasn't for sure they'd win this tournament, but I thought they had a chance to still get in the NCAA tournament one way or the other. And I've just got a weird feeling maybe they're owed a little karma after some of the previous bad seedings and things they've gotten in the tournament. So we'll find out tomorrow. Joe Lunardi has moved the Broncos to his first team out with the loss, has moved Indiana in as the last team in. So Joe Lunardi, ESPN's bracketologist, now has Boise State out of the field. We'll see what the other bracketologists say. They were right on the bubble, and chances are that's the way it's going to go. They're going to probably end up being on the wrong side of the bubble and come back down here to Las Vegas in 10 days for the Crown Tournament, which I think has a chance to be a pretty cool tournament when it's all said and done. But I wouldn't give it up. I wouldn't say it's zero. I would not give up hope. Crazier things have happened. There's 5 new members on the committee. We don't know how they're going to vote. 7 of the 12 committee members, I think, are tied to non-Power 4 schools. So maybe they have a little, kind heart for the little guy, so to speak. And we'll see what happens. But Colorado State is in. That's looking like the Mountain West is going to get at least 4 teams. Who knows how San Diego State, versus Boise State would go. Everyone assumes San Diego State is in the field over Boise State, but the Broncos just beat them. The metrics are very similar, so I don't know. A lot can happen. I'm not predicting yet that they're going to get in. I'm just saying I don't think it's a sure thing they're not. It would not surprise me one bit if we're all kind of not expecting it, and then, whoa, Boise State shows up, they're going to Dayton. I could totally see that happening tomorrow. They're as bubble-licious as it gets. They're right there on the bubble. Could be the last team in, could be the first team out. And Leon Rice, we'll play the interview here coming up when it finishes downloading. But Leon Rice said in the postgame, no doubt he believes this team is an NCAA tournament team. He mentioned the wins they had. He mentioned, the bad loss that everyone's talking about, Boston College being a guy hitting a fadeaway 3 on the 3rd day of a tournament, in a high school gym down in the Cayman Islands. And that's the reason back in November that they're a team that doesn't deserve to get into the tournament. So he was certainly politicking today in the postgame. Tyson Degenhardt and RJ Keene both spoke with the media as well, and both of them believe that the Broncos should get in, and we'll find out. Crazier things have happened. We'll find out tomorrow on the selection show. I believe it's 4:00 Mountain Time is the selection show on CBS, and it's going to be a long wait for them and a long night tonight. Boise State's team flight, the one that we're on, expected to leave at 8:40, is now delayed till 11 o'clock tonight. The Broncos not scheduled to get back to Boise until after 2 o'clock in the morning now. So a tough wait in Vegas is going to be a couple extra hours, unfortunately, for Leon Rice and company. But crazier things have happened. That's all I'll say. Hold out hope. We've had crazy, teams get in that don't deserve it, teams that don't. We have no idea how this committee is going to vote. Do I think they probably end up out? Yes. But I still think it's 60-40 that they're out. I don't think it's 99-1. I still think there's a real chance they could be the shocker of the tournament, and people are going to say they don't deserve it, and they get in, and maybe they go win a game. Who knows? So we'll find out tomorrow at 4 o'clock. But obviously tonight, this game, they just got off to the 6-0 start, and then I think it was a 25-3 run from Colorado State to just take command of the game. Boise State just really couldn't get back in it. I thought a big swing in the game was Boise State got it back to 8 right before halftime and had the possession. They ran a play for Julian Bowie. He misses the 3, but they give a long rebound out to Nick Clifford. He's able to go down, and then a foul's call with 0.2 seconds left. That gives them 2 points right before half. They go up 10 points at the half. And then in the second half, Boise State comes out, cuts it to 5 right away, and you're thinking, okay, here we go again. Boise State's going to do this again. And then sure enough, there was a 11-0 run from Colorado State. They hit a couple huge threes, pull back ahead, and Boise State just couldn't get back into it. And that really was the story tonight for the game. Colorado State 12 of 24 from 3-point range, and Boise State 8 of 27. I know I'm sure AP, and I haven't checked the chat yet, but I'm sure that the trolls and the Leon Rice haters are enjoying this one and are out in full force and saying you got outcoached and all this stuff, and that's fine. I expect that to be the narrative tonight, but really it comes down to shot making. Colorado State 12 of 24 from 3. And Boise State 8 of 27 from 3. Boise State won 2 games in this tournament despite not shooting better than 40% in any of the 3 games. The Broncos just had 3 bad shooting days. We've talked about it, but 3-point shooting certainly is something the Broncos are going to have to improve on in the offseason and find some guys that can make some threes. And it kind of reared its ugly head again tonight. The Broncos just not able to hit enough outside shots. They shoot 29.6% from 3. And you have Colorado State make 12 threes and go 12 of 24. And every time Colorado State needed a big shot. They had it. Nick Clifford had another big game, 24 points for him, 6 rebounds. He hit 3 threes himself, and a couple other guys stepped up. Bowen Bourne comes off the bench. Had made, was averaging 1 made 3 a game. Goes 3 for 4 in the first half. Jalen Crocker Johnson hits 2 threes. Keyshawn Williams comes off the bench and hits 2 threes. So big time bench production for Colorado State tonight. 28 points from the bench. And Boise State, just didn't win the way they usually win. Only 6 second chance points for Boise State. They did have 9 offensive rebounds, but only turned that into 6 second chance points. They had a possession there in the second half where they got like 4 offensive rebounds and just kept missing shots. And it was kind of the perfect summary of the game, tonight and frankly the season for Boise State in a lot of ways. So obviously a very tough one for Boise State. Not the way a lot of people, including myself, saw this one playing out. It just seemed like this was a team that was going to somehow, some way find a way to win this one, and they were just unable to do it. And the final score, 69-56. Boise State falls to Colorado State, and now they will wait, a long wait, 22 hours or so until Selection Sunday tomorrow to see what the future holds for them. I believe the Crown Tournament, as I've been saying the last couple of days, talking to some people, the new Crown Tournament down here in Las Vegas does seem like more of a viable option than the NIT at this point. I know a lot of people don't even know what the Crown is. But it's going to become the premier tournament, pretty quickly. They get 2 teams from the Big East, 2 from the Big 12, and I believe 2 from the Big 10. There's going to be some named teams in this thing. It's all in Las Vegas. It's for 1 week, and the big thing is the NIL component. Players get paid to play in this tournament, and if you advance and win the tournament, you get paid pretty good money. $300,000 goes to the winning team for winning this tournament. I think it's $100,000 to the losing team, $50,000 if you make the Final Four, and everybody gets a little bit of cash just for making the tournament. So I think that from my conversations, if Boise State does not get in the NCAA tournament, they'll take the opportunity to pay the players to get on FS1 and Fox and take their chances here in this NIL tournament called the Crown back here in Las Vegas the week between the Elite Eight and the Final Four. Is when that would be. So that's just what I've been hearing. We'll obviously find out tomorrow night what the case is on that, but Boise State will probably host some sort of private watch party. Certainly won't have one with fans. Not even sure they're going to want to have media there, filming it. They'll probably film it and send it out, I would guess, if they were to get in or something, but I'm not sure they want media filming them, with their heads down if they don't get in. But like I said, crazier things have happened the last couple of years. You thought they were in a great spot. Last year, they almost get left out, having to go to Dayton. Maybe this committee owes them one, and maybe they have some good luck coming their way. And I've said for a long time that just doesn't feels like this season for Tyson Degenhardt, Alvaro Cardenas needs to end in the NCAA tournament, and I think there's still a chance that could happen. Is it a great chance? No, but I still think there is a chance. And obviously, we'll spend the next rest of the evening and tomorrow kind of analyzing the bubble and the bid stealers. Just the main thing is you need Memphis to win, you need VCU to win, and you need UC San Diego to all win. If those 3 teams can all win, you would have no bid stealers, this year other than Colorado State. And that was the tough thing about this one is Colorado State stealing a bid. You needed Utah State to win last night. If Utah State would have been the one to beat Boise State, Boise State theoretically, according to like a Joe Lenardi, would still be the last team in right now. So right now, Colorado State literally stole the bid from Boise State in more ways than one by winning the game tonight. So overall, Boise State just couldn't make enough shots. As we said, 19 of 49 from the field, 38.8%, only 8 of 27 from three-point range, and that is 29.6%. And the Broncos just kind of ran out of gas a little bit. 2 really tough, hard, emotional, games, and just Colorado State kind of cruised their first 2 games, and it just looked like the Boise State just kind of ran out of gas and was the tired team tonight. And I get it. Colorado State also playing 3rd game in 3 days. It's not an excuse. Leon Rice said it's not an excuse. But it just looked like Boise State kind of ran out of gas, in that game tonight. Some of the final numbers: Tyson Degenhardt, 22 points. Julian Bowie does finish with 8. I wouldn't have expected that going into the game, that Julian Bowie, second on the team with 8 points. You had 6 for RJ Keene. He had a couple threes. You had 5 for Carmichael, 5 for Meadow. Andrew Meadow only taking 1 3-point attempt tonight. Seems a little surprising. I think he took 9 last night, but only 1 3-point attempt in 29 minutes for Andrew Meadow tonight. Alvaro Cardenas, 0 for 5 from 3-point range, just 1 of 8 from the field. He finishes with 3 points, 8 assists, 3 turnovers. Tough one for Alvaro Cardenas tonight in the championship game. Emmanuel Ugbo, coming off his 17-point performance, only had 2 points tonight. Didn't have the same magic that he had. Omar Stanley, 1 point in 11 minutes off the bench. 2 points, as I said, for Ugbo. and 4 for Javen Buchanan. So just not enough production from anybody not named Tyson Degenhardt. And frankly, Tyson took him a little while to get going too. In the first 10 minutes of the game, I think he had 2 shot attempts and scored a couple buckets there, but he really didn't get going until the second half. But man, he hit that 3-pointer, and then they had added another bucket, and all of a sudden they're only down 5. Early in the second half, you're saying, okay, we've seen this story. Here they come again. But Colorado State, just too much firepower and hit too many big shots tonight. Hats off to Neat Clifford, 24 points tonight, and he did a lot for Colorado State, and they were able to do enough to get the win. And again, they're heading to the NCAA tournament. Their coach Nico Medved was my coach of the year in the Mountain West, and he kind of proved it tonight, taking this team and winning getting to the NCAA tournament, winning an NCAA tournament bid by winning the Mountain West Conference tournament. Just what can you say about Nico Medved with the reports today that he might be headed to Minnesota? He is gonna make that a tough wait for Minnesota, I guess, or make that negotiations a little tougher to add a couple extra zeros on that check with what he did today, winning the Mountain West Conference tournament. But hats off to Colorado State. Heck of a year, heck of a game, and the Rams are dancing, and we'll find out tomorrow whether or not Boise State is dancing. We're going to hear from Leon Rice. We're going to hear from Tyson Degenhardt, from RJ Keene. That video is finishing up downloading in a couple of minutes here, and we'll get to that shortly. We're going to take your comments, your thoughts. I do want to thank a couple of our sponsors that make this show free of charge for you to watch here on YouTube and Facebook and X, and that's from our sponsors, including our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Andy Rowe and Company, we appreciate him and his support of Bronco Nation News. And your concrete coatings, your interior, exterior painting, all your concrete coatings and all your painting needs, please hit up our title sponsor, Andy Rowe, and rowpaint.com. Taco Bell, perfect night. You're kind of mad about the game. You don't want to cook dinner. Take the family over to Taco Bell. That'll cheer you up and make you feel better. SON Management, the Nicolason family, TacoBellWorks.com. You can find a location near you. You can also apply for a job there. And don't forget, they've committed more than $400,000 to student-athlete scholarships at Boise State for the men's and women's basketball team. So shout out Taco Bell, Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, and again, Taco Bell, hit them up for your next meal, and you will be glad that you did. ICCU, you'll be glad if you switch your bank over to ICCU. The Raines family did. I know Mike Prater and some others are ICCU members, and we didn't really realize what we were missing until we got over there. We liked our bank. We were happy. We made the switch when we got them on board as a sponsor, and man, are we happy we did that. ICCU.com, Idaho Central Credit Union. They're the best in the business. Whether it's the eBranch mobile online banking is the easiest to use, but if you need to go into the branch in person, which is pretty rare, they have a friendly staff. They're ready to help you out. Idaho Central Credit Union. Make the switch today at ICCU.com. This is the Jacksons Postgame Show. As I said, $2 hot dog and fountain drink deal is in effect tomorrow since the Broncos got 70 points last night. So go into Jacksons tomorrow and get a hot dog and fountain drink for $2. And don't forget 99-cent coffee anytime, day or night from our friends at Jacksons. Hit them up, Jacksons, with your Let's Go Rewards app. Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game, thespateam.com. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. They've been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. Make sure you check them out, thespateam.com. Whether it's a sauna, a pool table, spa, anything, they got you covered. You can view all their options, thespateam.com. The Raines family, we've got a spa from them and couldn't be happier with it. And I highly recommend you add one as well at thespateam.com. And we thank the Blue and Orange Store as well. Travis Hawks is down here. I know it'll be a disappointing night for Travis Hawks. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. If you're looking for some Boise State gear, maybe the Broncos sneak in, you can get that We're Dancing shirt this week from the Blue and Orange Store online, theblueandorangestore.com, or you can go anywhere in the world. You can order online there at theblueandorangestore.com, or you can just go to the Boise Town Square Mall, second floor next to Pro Image. And they've got the daily deals and all kinds of great stuff there from the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. All right, this is going to be dangerous, but I am going to dive into the comment section here for a few minutes while we get the video processed and into the system here. Mile High offense saying good game, and I'm being sarcastic there. Offense isn't effective enough. Help side defense gave them open threes. Tough loss. Let's see where we end up for the tournament. Who knew CSU could hit threes at such a high rate? I mean, they've been doing that for a good chunk of the season, but they were obviously higher than their season percentage tonight. To be 50% and to make 12 threes, both of those were above their average, and you got to give it to them. Jalen Crocker Johnson hits a 2 of 4. Neat Clifford hits 3. Bowen Bourne comes off the bench to hit 3. Keyshawn Williams comes off the bench to hit 2. So they just had some role players, some players come off the bench and step up and hit big shots at big times. So kudos to Colorado State. They obviously shot the ball very well tonight. And at times the Broncos would would double Clifford and do some things, and it just didn't work out as they made him pay with some open looks there. Sick Modern, not holding my breath as far as the at-large bid. Expect to be left out considering the other brands on the bubble. And yeah, that is the case. I mean, North Carolina is going to bring ratings. Some of these other teams, that's not supposed to matter. Texas and Indiana, I mean, these are blue blood programs. So I do agree with the Sick Modern. That's an extra element the Broncos are up against and probably not helping, to be honest. So JD says good tournament, might not be enough. It was a really good effort, and the guys deserve support. Bronco 130. Congrats to CSU. Broncos appeared to run out of gas. Proud of how they battled this week, but if I never see Vern Harris ref another one of our games, it will be too soon. I didn't think Vern had anything crazy tonight in terms of bad calls or messing things up tonight. So I'll have to watch the game again, but I don't think Vern is the reason Boise State lost tonight. Meadow attempted 1-3 all game. Yep, we mentioned that. That's not obviously ideal at all. He needed to take way more than that, and I don't know what was going on there. Got to give credit to San Diego for beating San Diego State and New Mexico. Wish we could have pulled this one off. Still a successful season. Got my money's worth, and we'll be back at the X later this year. I unfortunately think Unfiltered KC that you're going to be in the minority from some folks, but I totally agree. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready to call it a successful season just yet. If you were the preseason, team and you miss out on the tournament, but to win 24 games to make the postseason, yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow before we kind of make the big picture determination on the season. But to get to the championship game in the tournament and for the second time in 4 years is an accomplishment, certainly. But obviously, to this point, the Broncos have not achieved what they wanted to achieve. But you know what? I'm not going to call it a failure. I'm not going to call it a success. Let's see what happens. If they get in the tournament tomorrow and then win a game on Thursday, it's the greatest season in Boise State history all of a sudden. So let's just wait and see. And when the season's over, when we find out their fate tomorrow, then we can kind of make decisions on how disappointing and unsuccessful and all that kind of stuff this season was. Normal production to help Deggy wasn't there. Good tournament run. Clifford could do some damage in the tournament. Yeah. That's a team that could certainly make a little run. They're playing really, really well right now, but also they're just shooting at an abnormal rate. Once they miss some of those shots, I could also see them flaming out pretty early in the first game. If they go, they have a rough shooting night and they don't go 12 of 24. I mean, if they go, even 7 of 24 tonight, Boise State is right there to win the game. I will say Boise State was down by as many as 25 points. They battle back to get it to 13, so the final margin doesn't look quite as bad, but that selection committee was sitting around watching that game on CBS, together, and I'm sure that's not helping things, to be honest. So, but yeah, Colorado State, tremendous team. I could certainly see them making a run. I think they were just out of gas, exhausted after New Mexico. No downtown game against a 3-point powerhouse. You go 0-3. Yeah, Harold Balzac, nice last name there. I do think, I mean, not making excuses. Colorado State was playing their third straight game in a row too, but it did seem like Boise State was just out of gas at this point and didn't make the plays they needed to, and Colorado State did. So hats off to them. And Bob says 2 games against San Diego State and New Mexico. I kind of expected this. A lot of people in this chat right now would not have even expected Boise State to be in this situation. You say you got to play New Mexico and you got to play San Diego State. A lot of people didn't even expect them to beat San Diego State. So I'm not trying to sugarcoat the tournament and say, it was a great tournament, great season, whatever, but they outperformed a lot of people's expectations down here for folks saying they can't win in this tournament and they can't win in March. I mean, they're still 4-2 in March this year, and they're still a team that, I think could make a run if they got in, could win some games regardless of what tournament they make here moving forward. So not the game everybody wanted, and not trying to sugarcoat it. It wasn't the tournament, and it's not a successful tournament. You didn't win, and you may not get in the NCAA tournament. So, I mean, it's tough in that sense. But, when the season's all said and done, 24 wins, but, some of the things we'll sit down and evaluate it and talk about it. But like I said, I don't think now is the time to say if the season was a success or a failure, because that could change tomorrow at 4:00 if they were to get into the NCAA tournament. If you would tell me Deggy would have 22 and the bench 20, I'd have felt good about their chances. Just a brutal offensive showing. And I believe hopefully some videos coming soon here of Leon Rice and the Tyson Degenhardt and RJ Keene. So we'll get that in the system here shortly as well. Brutal offensive showing. I agree with that. If you said that, we said that on the pregame show, Tyson got his 22. Nobody else had more than 8. Only one player in double figures. I mean, you looked up in this game, Boise State had, I think, 13 points with 6 minutes left in the half. I mean, they were just picked a bad time to go ice cold from the field and just had no offensive flow and just couldn't make a shot there in the first half. It was a tough game. Wasn't a lack of effort, a few bad calls, and it rolled downhill. There was one questionable call. I know some of the fans thought it was all ball or a block they called that gave Nick Clifford free throws and led actually to the 11-0 run. But I'm not ready to say they lost this game because of the officiating. They didn't make enough shots, and Colorado State did. So let's not bring the officiating narrative into this one. Al had 8 assists. Definitely not his best today. Yeah, he was 1 for 8 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3 was Alvaro Cardenas today. And a lot of his threes were short and looked like he was a little out of gas at that point. Terrible game plan to rely on the 3. We've been horrible from 3 all year. I would have liked to have seen Tyson Degenhart post up a little more. Once they got him into the paint, he actually had some success. So, excuse me, I don't think they were relying on the 3. They just got down by so much they had to start jacking up threes. But early in the game, I thought they could have done a little better job of trying to get the ball down to Tyson. And it's just another game where in the first half, I think Tyson Degenhart took 4 shots. I mean, that just can't happen. Tyson Degenhart needs more shots. He finishes with 12, but 8 in the second half. But he needed 10.5. I mean, I don't. It's been happening too many times this year. I know that they were doubling him. They're trying to make it tough on him, but you got to find a way to get Tyson Degenhart more shots. You really do. And that's basically, one of the keys in the game here. People are quick to blame Leon when he isn't even in charge of the offense. He's the head coach. It's like I said, I'm not here to defend Leon. Like some folks, think, oh, I'm getting a Christmas card or getting invited over for Easter egg hunt or whatever you want to say. He's the it comes back on him. If the offense isn't good enough, he's the head coach. Tim Duryea calls the plays, runs the offense. Mike Burns runs the defense, but ultimately comes back to the head coach. And yes, one criticism I would have from this game is I would have liked, which I have at times had this season, is I would like to see Tyson Degenhart get more involved offensively earlier in games. And it just seems like for whatever reason, sometimes they're not aggressive enough and he's not as aggressive enough. Boise and San Diego State are going to be sweating tomorrow. Maybe they both make the first 4. Let's see what else. This chat is so incredibly reasonable. Appreciate you all. The team had so much respect from opposing fans down here. Looking forward to more ball whenever it is in the weeks to come. Jordan, appreciate you as always. It was good seeing you down here. Let's see what else we got here. Kurt's guessing San Diego State gets in, not us. Let's see. Not going to be here to chat. Fire Leon, period. Devo Bronk has seen enough and wants Leon gone. Let's see. I'd be shocked if Boise State gets in, according to Sick Modern. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be surprised, but I'm just trying to hold out hope for you guys. I don't think it's 0. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Why would BSU go to the Crown when they will get a good NIT seed? Because hosting a game in the NIT is a lot of work, and you don't make nearly as much money as you think. And like I said, you can pay the players and have a tournament and be done in a week, and it's a pretty cool deal. So I don't know for sure. Maybe the NIT. Tyson's already got the record, so you don't need to try to get him a home game to break the record or anything. So I just talked to some people, and they think the Crown is the way they're probably going to go at this point. It is what it is, and the players can get paid, and everybody can kind of try to end the season on a high note, and the play get a week together in Vegas again for. They're not going to get a bid. I think Boise State and San Diego State are doomed. We'll see on that. Brock Rice got some of the loudest ovations of the entire day for Boise State fans. Brock Rice, Leon's son, hitting a half quarter with a couple of minutes late in the game. They don't want the Crown tournament. I don't know who you're talking to, Kurt. Maybe you've got better sources than I do, but I've talked to some folks that say that they would take that and they do want that. So BC loss was a killer. Yes, it was. Now Leon argued, and we'll hear it in a minute, that it was in November and it was a step back 3 on the 3rd day of a tournament. But yes, any way you look at it, if you're going to count the Clemson win in November, then you got to count the Boston College loss in November as well. It is what it is. If the committee has to choose between the Aztecs and Boise, they probably choose Aztecs. They took 2 out of 3, probably. We had awful shooters this year. I don't know if I'd go that far, but certainly the 3-point percentage was one of the worst in the country, and that's something the Broncos have to improve on, is getting better 3-point shooting as they move forward here. Bad shooting team, also ran 0 creative offense to try and get open looks. It is what it is. This team was not a great shooting team. Chibuzo Abo certainly leaving caused some problems. Max Rice was tougher to replace than they thought from his 3-point percentage. I believe Andrew Meadow, they thought would shoot a better percentage from 3 than he did. Overall, Tyson Degenhart didn't shoot the percentage from 3 they thought he would. So I think there were just some guys that they were counting on a little more It was nice to see RJ Keene hit 2 threes tonight and show a little offensive firepower for him, maybe moving forward here for next season. And we're not going to get into the next season talk yet, but there are a lot of positive signs and pieces for this team moving forward. If you want to be excited about some of the pieces coming back here, we do have a lot of other comments and things strolling in. I want to hear from Leon Rice, Tyson Degenhardt, and RJ Keene as well. But do want to thank a couple more of our sponsors, including Lithia Ford of Boise. LithiaFordBoise.com is the website. They got to make room for some of these 2025, so they got to get rid of some of these 24s. That means great savings and deals available for you at Lithia Ford of Boise. You can check them out online, LithiaFordBoise.com. LithiaFordBoise.com, and that is the website. You can view their full inventory of vehicles and options, or just go into the showroom in the lot there on Fairview Avenue in Boise, and that is Lithia Ford of Boise. They got the NIL game. A lot of players and coaches and administrators, they're helping out. They're one of the biggest supporters of Boise State athletics. Return the favor at Lithia Ford of Boise. We got to give a Matt Bauscher player of the game here at some point as well. Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. When you buy or sell a home from Matt, you get to meet everybody in the picture there. Customer service is unmatched. Bauscher Real Estate, BauscherRealEstate.com, and number 1 ranked realtor for a reason. Rain's family, we bought our home, sold our home using Matt and his team. We're very happy we did. Again, online, Matt Bauscher, BauscherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com. They got 13 locations across the state of Idaho, surrounding states. Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com. Download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line from shop Ridley's.com. Transportation compliance service. If you're looking for a new job, how about the trucking industry? They can help you out every step of the way, whether it's a DOT overweight, all the paperwork, all the permits, everything you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. Maybe you've never thought of the trucking industry as a career, but maybe you should consider it. It's a booming one. It's very lucrative. Transcompservice.com. We're going to hear from Leon Rice and some players in just a second. We're going to keep taking your comments, but I want to thank Lean Feast. LeanFeastMeridian.com is the website. 10,000 plus combinations, healthy eating options, whether it's steak, chicken, fish, shrimp, you name it. LeanFeastMeridian.com. LeanFeastMeridian.com. They deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley. It's good in your refrigerator for 5 days, and you just pop it in the microwave there for 2 minutes, and you're eating some great health options. That's Lean Feast, LeanFeastMeridian.com. And I hope we get some voicemails. Speakpipe.com/BNN. How you feeling? Are the Broncos going to make it in to the big dance? We want to hear from you. Speakpipe.com/BNN is our voice inbox line. We'll take those Monday morning as well with Mike Prater. You can leave those tomorrow once Selection Sunday hits. It's brought to you by Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades, online at mysignatureroofing.com. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Again, brought to you by Signature Roofing. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an inspection, an estimate, Signature Roofing, online at mysignatureroofing.com. Played this to start the show, but for folks that were a little late, missed it. This was the scene as the final seconds ticked off the clock. Leon Rice making a substitution, taking out Tyson Degenhardt and Alvaro Cardenas. Not the ending they were expecting here for the unwanted embrace with their coaches and teammates after losing in the championship game. Tyson Degenhardt, you're going to hear momentarily saying he really thought this was a team of destiny, but just not able to get it done. And we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow on Selection Sunday, but a tough finish for 2 guys that gave it everything they had for this program, for 4 years for Tyson Degenhardt and just 1 year for Alvaro Cardenas. But certainly both these guys gave it everything they had, and just a tough scene to watch them have to embrace each other after this one. But Colorado State wins the game 69-56. The Rams, they are your Mountain West tournament champions. They earn the automatic bid to the big dance, and the Broncos again will have to sweat it out on Selection Sunday. Tyson and RJ Keene met with the media. Let's hear from them after the game.
Both of you guys, just to come this close and come up short in this game, just what are your emotions like right now?
It sucks. I mean, we fought through 2 incredibly tough games on Thursday and Friday, and I thought this was our chance. I thought we were the team of destiny this week, and we just didn't have it today. And just Colorado State played very, very well this past month or so, and so hats off to them.
Yeah, it definitely stings. I mean, we had a goal come in here that we wanted to win it all, and we took it 1 game at a time. We didn't really look forward to any of this, but yeah, it stings. I mean, we want to win this bad, and we had 2 good wins, and we really wanted to get this one today, but we fell short.
With how emotional the last 2 wins were, how tough you guys had to fight, I mean, how much did you guys have left in the tank today?
I mean, we gave it our all. That's what you have to do in these tournaments. We're playing for an NCAA tournament bid, and if you don't give it your all, I think it's a disservice to your team, to your teammates, to the fans. So, we gave it our all, and we came up short, and that's sometimes the way it goes.
And Coach mentioned the outside shooting, but how big was that, obviously, and the 12 of 24 that they had, and they had a stretch there where we hit 3 or 4 in a row to kind of open up that lead?
It was a big stretch that one in the first half where they made a bunch. I mean, Bourne came in, went 3 for 4, and Keyshawn Williams went 2 for 3. So 5 threes off the bench is hard to do that. And Morton played very, very well, 11 points off the bench. And so when you have those guys kind of come in and do that, it's pretty hard to overcome.
Tyson, just going off that, you guys started 6-0 and then 25-3 run. Were they just making big plays? Was it something they were doing? How did that happen?
That's sometimes how basketball works. I think they did a good job of pressuring us and not allowing us to get paint touches. Along with that, they moved the ball well, and credit to them, they made shots. And so that's kind of the way basketball goes sometimes.
And then you guys take 49 shots, 27 of them are from 3. Just, statistically looking at the team shooting from 3 this year, was that a case of you guys just chasing a game? Like, was that a game plan?
I think most of them were open. I mean, I think there were some instances where we got the shot clock down and we probably didn't get the best look, but sometimes that's just the way the flow of the game goes. It was harder to get in the paint, so we had to shoot some from the outside, and that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles.
Over here. J-Tusk, KTVB, Tyson, going into Selection Sunday, how do you feel?
I don't know. It's definitely different than the past couple of years. Freshman year, obviously, we'd won this, and it was a great feeling, punching the ticket. And the last 2 years, we felt pretty good about where we're at, and now it's just, you kind of just hope and pray. I feel like we are a tournament team, and if the committee says like what they did last year about out-of-conference wins, we have 2 of the best ones out there. So, I hope that takes us in, and we'll just have to wait and see tomorrow.
RJ, I'll ask you kind of the same question. I mean, as Coach Rice pointed out at the beginning of this, you guys won 11 of 13. Seems like over that span, you guys have really found your roles, you specifically. Do you think you guys deserve a spot in the tournament?
Yes. I mean, I do think we deserve a spot in this tournament. Like Tyson said, those Clemson, St. Mary's wins and New Mexico wins, San Diego State wins. I think we got 6 wins against teams in the tournament. Stuff bubble teams don't have. And I think that speaks volume to our guys and where we go out and compete. And the committee can do what they want, but I think we're a valuable team for them, and I think we're a great team, and I think we deserve to be in the tournament.
Move to your left, guys.
For both of you, I mean, you guys cut the deficit to 5 points early in the second half, and then they just opened it up with 11-0 run. When you guys get that close and then they go on a run like that, how much of a backbreaker is that?
It's hard. Obviously, basketball is a game of runs, but there's some stats out there. If you have like 2 11-plus runs, and in a game your winning percentage is like 80% or something like that. And when you're talking about a 25-3 run in the first half and then 11-0 in the second half, that's pretty hard to overcome. I mean, that's a 33-point swing. So, if we could have shortened those runs a little bit, I think we'd have been in a better spot. But that's just, yeah.
All right, back here live, and we are
Thank you.
Nice enough to be joined by Jay Tust, who was just kind of wandering the concourse here and decided, I'll come on for a few minutes and discuss this one. But Jay, not the post-game show we thought we'd be doing, not the wrap-ups you're doing for KTVB and the live shots as we get ready to head to the airport here. Just a disappointing one tonight.
Yeah, it's in a weird way, BJ, it's the beauty of this tournament, right? It is the thrill of victory and the absolute devastating agony of defeat. And there's no in between here, because unless you win this thing, you're not guaranteed your season marches on, right? And Boise State right now, they are going to be sweating this out for the next 22 hours until the selection show tomorrow at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock Mountain Time. So I don't know if I did my math there, buddy. But, they're going to be sweating this out. And I tweeted this out just a second ago because it really starts to hit you when you think about this. Last year the NCAA tournament selection committee allowed 6 teams from the Mountain West into the field of 68. And they certainly didn't exceed expectations as a collective group. And so now you look at this year, Colorado State is the one and only true lock. New Mexico and Utah State definitely seem like locks. So that gives you 3 Mountain West teams. Boise State and San Diego State are sitting there on the bubble. Is the NCAA tournament selection committee really going to put 4, 5 Mountain West teams into the field? I mean, I'll sit here and tell you I hope so because I want another trip to the NCAA tournament to go cover this team.
Booking a flight to Dayton would never be more exciting.
No, it wouldn't be. But the reality of it is I just don't know if that seems super realistic. You said this to me as we were walking out of the post-game press conference, said to somebody else too. Doesn't seem like the NCAA tournament selection committee has really done Boise State a lot of favors. And, it's not like you would expect them to, but man, it would be nice to see them throw Boise State a bone, especially when you have Alvaro Cardenas and Tyson Degenhart on this roster. Guys that are perfectly capable of leading this team to a victory over an NCAA tournament caliber opponent. And if you're sitting there saying, yeah, right, well, they have done it. They beat Clemson. They beat St. Mary's. They beat New Mexico twice. They beat San Diego State. I mean, those are all teams that you believe that are in the field. But my biggest fear with this thing, BJ, is just that, you don't want any bid stealers. And Colorado State, they might be the team that knocks Boise State out of the NCAA tournament in more ways than one. First, there's the 0-3 mark against the Rams.
Yep.
There's the auto bid that Colorado State, took today. And then they weren't getting in unless they won the tournament. So they are the bid stealer. So like Joe Lunardi had Boise State at 68 today.
That's why you wanted Utah State to win.
That's why you wanted Utah State to win last night. So you had Boise State at 68 today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Colorado State is now into the field. They might be the team that effectively pushes Boise State out of the NCAA tournament.
In my opinion, San Diego State more likely to be thrown the bone than Boise State.
Everybody wants to talk about their win over Houston.
And just the pedigree and the history and the name they have. I don't think anybody could really argue that. And they did win 2 out of the 3 head-to-head matchups.
Yep, I think the last one is definitely significant in terms of the value of that. And you're right. I mean, that's what Boise State football benefits from: history, the tradition. That they benefit from it in football. San Diego State should benefit from it in basketball. But it's funny because I guess what I'm going to say, BJ, is that people talk about that win that San Diego State had over Houston 4 months ago,
mm-hmm.
and they boost up their resume. And then people want to tear down Boise State's resume because of a loss against Boston College. It happened 4 months ago, right? It's just it's tough to think that those games can be that big of a factor, but they are. And it's just kind of the reality of resume building. And it'll be a bummer if Boise State's left out of this thing because it feels like Tyson Degenhart should go to 4 straight NCAA tournaments.
And that's why I'm not quite giving up hope. I'm not predicting it. I don't think it's likely. I mean, I'd still put it, I said 60-40 earlier. It's probably 75-25, but I mean, I'm not saying it's 0. Crazier things have happened. There's always a team like, how did they get in? Or they don't. Was it Virginia last year?
60-40 earlier, but now
I mean, it was 40-60. I said it was less likely, but I was still giving them a chance.
Gotcha.
So now I was saying it was 60-40. They don't get in.
Yeah.
Now I'm probably thinking that's more 75-25, and it'll probably get 80-20. But there's a team every year where it's like, how did they get in? I mean, Virginia last year, nobody thought they could get in.
That's true.
And crazier things have happened. And as Anton says, go VCU, Memphis, Liberty, and UCSD.
You need everything
you
to
cannot have
shot.
any more bid stealers.
0. Andrew listed them all out right there. It's that simple. Those teams absolutely have to win tomorrow.
They had 4 games where they lost by 3 points. And we're going to hear from Leon here in a minute, Jay. But I mean, I get both sides of the argument. But I mean, Leon Rice he's correct. A lot, to count a Boston College loss in November on a step back 3 on the last day. Yes, that is. I get it. It's November. They're a totally different team 3 months later. But also, if you're going to throw that out, I mean, you beat Clemson in November. You beat St. Mary's, in early December. So I mean, you can't just say, "Oh, it was early in the season. That game doesn't matter," and then not count those.
That's like I said. Like you boost up SDSU's resume from a game that 4 months ago or whatever. You tear down Boise State's. it's all part of the resume building process, and it all counts, and it's all going to be talked about in the selection committee room. And I will say this: you brought this up earlier in the week before the tournament even tipped off. Some of these, or a lot of these decisions, are made even going before the weekend games even tip off. Like they really are. And then just as bid stealers happen, you might knock a team out of the tournament based off the order you had them. So.
Someone's saying Memphis already won. That was in the semifinals. The championship game is tomorrow. They still need to win that.
Yep.
Liberty is tonight, I guess, and then VC. I don't think Liberty's getting in though. Is Liberty getting an at-large? I wouldn't have them on the.
I would not have them as an at-large.
No, I don't think that matters.
Yeah, they've won a lot of games, a ton of games, but I don't think Liberty, whoever. I don't know if that's necessarily a bid stealing conference. Whoever wins is going to go to the NCAA tournament.
What'd you make of the shooting and were they just running out of gas? I mean, they haven't been a good shooting team all year, and obviously in these 3 games, Jay, I don't think they shot over 40% in any of the 3 games.
There are nights where you don't make shots. I think maybe the thing that's a little bit disappointing is how they also defended the perimeter tonight. They allowed 12 3-point field goals, man, and it's just going to be hard to win games when you allow a team to shoot 50% and make 12 threes. And it only seemed like it got worse in the second half, to be honest with you. Nate Clifford, he got off to a relatively slow start, and then all of a sudden you look up and he's got 20, 22, ends with 24. He is a phenomenal basketball player, and I'm not taking anything away from Colorado State. I for most of the season have called New Mexico the best team in the Mountain West Conference. The class of the Mountain West Conference is what it is. Colorado State's now stolen that title. They have been waxing teams lately, and they made it almost look easy here in Las Vegas this week. I mean, they put it on Boise State.
Hey, I had Nico Medved as my coach of the year.
I did too. They put it on Boise State. They put it on Utah State. I mean, they came here and just kicked everybody's butt.
And I know it's a discussion for the offseason, Jay, but Boise State, I mean, I know they're confident in the guys they have, and maybe you do expect Edo, Carmichael, some of these guys to improve their outside shooting, but I think they've got to go find a sharpshooter from 3-point range in the portal somewhere.
They've got to find a sharpshooter, and they got to find – you know who they got to find, BJ? They got to find Chibuzo Wabo.
We mentioned his name has come up on the show already.
They missed that guy so freaking much this year.
Yep.
Not only his ability to shoot, I can't him on Nate Clifford. I feel so vastly different about if you put Chibuzo Wabo on this roster, on this team.
Yep.
Holy cow! I don't even think I'd flip it. I don't even know if it's close.
Yeah.
And they unfortunately that was a very, very late transfer portal loss, and that really, really hurt this team.
Folks also saying they need to go get a center.
Yeah,
I know they like Ethan Lathan, the kid that's redshirting.
Yeah.
Dominic, is it Parolin? I mean, Ugbo has certainly shown he's going to be a serviceable guy, but whether he's ready to be a starting guy at 6'8", I don't know yet with that. Dylan Anderson obviously didn't work out, but it would some of these teams, when you see a Nelly Jr. Joseph or even a Coleman Jones or a Guap, I mean, some of these teams that are, even Colorado State got some production from their post players. They may need to be looking in the portal for a center as well.
Yeah.
But we can get to that. Those are off-season topics, discussions. The season's not over, Jay. And people are already saying the season's a failure or whatever. I mean, I said let's wait till tomorrow and see what happens.
Yeah.
What if they get in and then they win a game? It's the greatest season of ever.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite ready to say that, but
I have to cling to that optimism, BJ. Yeah.
I mean,
cling to that optimism.
What's your thoughts as we wrap this up on the Crown versus the NIT and what makes sense for this program moving forward here?
I think you have to.
And is this a team that you think Tyson got the record? I mean, is there any chance they just say heck with it and they're done? Do you see them playing in a postseason? I mean, is it a guarantee you think that they do one of these tournaments?
I thought it was a guarantee back when Anthony Drimmick was a senior that they would, and they voted not to.
Yeah.
I don't know. The one thing I will say,
I mean, he does have the record now.
This team at least is a little bit healthier. I think they're going to play in something. I don't think they shut it down. What's the visibility of the Crown?
The first 2 rounds are all on FS1.
Okay.
And then the Final Four in the championship is on Big Fox.
Okay, then I don't mind that actually. And your players could pocket a little cash.
The Final Four in the championship is at T-Mobile Arena here in Vegas.
You come down here, it's all very concentrated. I don't mind that.
Everyone I've talked to says no one knows about it, so it may take a year or two just for awareness from fans and everybody. But once here when it's all said and done in a year or two, they think this could put the NIT out of business.
Yeah,
like it's going to be when you can pay the players and stuff. It's a game changer.
I would look at the forward thinking. That seems like the future.
Sky Ship saying they will play in Dayton. Speak it into an existence, folks.
Speak it into
should we at all maybe Southwest kind of just book a flight we can cancel it all for Dayton now, or do we wait till tomorrow at 4:15 and see? Or
what if I already have?
Okay. I mean, I should have done that a while ago. I guess if you have one, save it for Monday. I assume I need to find out what time that don't cancel that yet. Weirder things have happened, man.
Weirder things have happened.
Don't cancel that. Jay, appreciate you. We're gonna we've got plenty of time to kill. It sounds like now, but thank you for stopping by. Whatever. I mean, the Dairy Queen's closed. I don't know why else you came up here, but
no, we're gonna go to Tacos El Gordo on the way to the airport.
That is best taco. You're going back for the third time, I guess, on this trip.
Best taco shop in Vegas.
Well,
anywhere.
We appreciate you, Jay. Let's hear from Leon Rice, Boise State head coach, meeting with the media after the game. It was kind of a short press conference with Coach Rice. We only got like 3 questions because Colorado State was waiting, and it was kind of short. But here's Boise State coach Leon Rice speaking with the media after the loss here in the title game.
This is a hard-fought tournament, and really, really proud of the effort of our guys to get to this game and battle through the 2 great teams we battled through to get here. And hats off to Colorado State. They're playing great basketball. They're 12 for 24 from 3. And that's hard to do on the third day, make shots like they're doing. And, they're into their roles. They know what they're doing. They're moving the ball well. And they're really playing well. And I think we're really playing well. I think you saw 2 of the teams that are playing really, really good right now. And I don't mean that as any disrespect to what New Mexico did to win the league. That gets, this day and age, that gets underappreciated because we played a 20-game schedule and you grind through, everybody played everybody, even playing field, whatever, they won the league, kudos there. It's quite an accomplishment. And then, but you look at us going into today, we've won 11 out of the last 13, playing great. So I don't want that, this tough night to take away from what these guys have done to battle to get here. But in the end, we won 2 games never shooting over 40% down here. And basketball is a game of made shots. And in the end, it comes down to that. They go 12 for 24 from 3. We go 8 for 27. And we shoot 38 from the field and 29 from 3. And, they shoot 43 and 50. So in the end, that's too much to overcome against a really good team.
Leon, what did you see in terms of just how hard these guys had to fight the last 2 days and just put so much out there the last 2 days in terms of did they run out of gas at all today? Or
yeah, I mean we don't make excuses but we were in. There's a lot to that. It's when you're going through the season, you play Wednesday, Saturday after a hard-fought Wednesday game. These guys are dead on Thursday, and to do it 3 days in a row, it's tough, but it's not an excuse. I mean, that's just the way that's just the way it is. And so that's why I tried to get some more guys. Julian came in and helped us, and we needed that because I knew Al. He puts a lot on himself, but man, he had to battle for 80 minutes basically against 2 teams that dogged him the whole night for 80 minutes. And, one game he had 12 assists. Another, he was spectacular. So, he'll beat himself up for a night like this, but that's a lot on a guy to do it 3 nights in a row against, a defense that's loaded up for him. And, but, again, it's a made shot game. If our offense could have been a little better but we were running in sand a little bit, looked a little step slow, and tried to do some different things. And got to give them credit; they're playing great. And everything that you try to do, they were able to go inside, game double. They made threes. They foul pressure on you and get to the line, all that kind of stuff. So, so you have to play a really, an A plus game, not just with effort, not just with toughness, but you got to make some shots in a game like this to keep it close, and then who knows what happens in the end. But we weren't able to keep it close.
John mentioned you guys cut it to 5, right there to start the second half, and it kind of felt like, okay, here they come again, you know, and then there was like a 50-50 call, and they get the free throws, and then bam, 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 3 threes in a row, and just like that, it's back to 16. How tough was that?
That was because you felt like here we go again, and but a credit to them, they responded and hit big shots.
Leon, just going into Selection Sunday, how do you feel, and do you feel like this team is an NCAA tournament team?
Oh, no doubt, because I mean, it's so funny when you're in a situation like ours. I mean, so let's look at it logically. Like, I mean, we aggressively schedule every year. We went out and had 2 of the best wins around, 2 top 20 teams. One that was ranked 10th last I saw, and, St. Mary's is in about top 18 or so. Great wins. One of them was on a neutral, one of them's at home. We've had road wins. We check all the boxes. We have neutral site wins, 2 great ones here. All those boxes are checked as what they say they want you to do. So because on the 3rd day of a tournament, Boston College hits a step back 3 to beat us, does that mean we're not tournament worthy in November? I mean, that when you're breaking it down, well, they got this one that happened in November with a different team basically that I had than what we are now. And so when you're on the bubble, like you're good enough to be in the NCAA tournament or not good enough because something that a step back 3 that Boston College hit to beat us, if you're just talking about, well, one bad loss or the fine line that you're on, and one shot can say, oh, no, you're good enough to be in it, or oh, you're not good enough to be in it, And so that, I know they look at the whole body of work, but a lot of people talk about it and analyze it and overanalyze it. And so hopefully that kind of thing doesn't overdo it. I think it is the body of work, and we've got a great body of work. We're playing great ball now. We've got some quality wins, played an aggressive schedule, won games away from our home arena, and the top of this league is as good as it has been. It's just all our numbers are down because the bottom of the league, their numbers are way down, and that so if a bottom of our league was way better and we beat them, like we did, does that mean we get 4 or 5 teams in, or just because of that? It's complicated and so many moving parts to this thing, but I know how good we're playing. I know what a good team we are, and I'm proud of the work they've done, and this was a pretty impressive tournament of what we just did.
Good time for one more over here. Yeah, just offensively, Leon, a tough 3 days shooting the ball.
Yeah.
The ball just not going in the bucket, or what do you think kind of led to those struggles? I know you also faced 3 very good defensive teams.
That no doubt that's always a part of it. I think it's a huge part of it too. But I think when you look at a lot of our wings and guards, there's a lot of inexperience there, and the older guys, they've been through this a little bit more. And like Tyson, he goes out and goes 3 for 5 from 3, makes has 22.7 rebounds. It's the experience. I mean, I look out there and like, I think we have 3 freshmen out there. It's the experience matters a lot. And I got, because I know they're good shooters. I mean, Julian's a great shooter. Peanut's a great shooter. Evans has been making shots. I mean, but they just don't have a lot of experience in these tournament situations. And the more experience you can have out there of guys that have made threes in games, the better they get.
Well, there you go. Leon Rice speaking with the media after the game today. And again, not sure if the Broncos, they certainly are not going to have anything public, but we'll find out if they're going to have any kind of private event, team party to watch, or if they'll let them watch on their own, or what the plan is for Selection Sunday tomorrow. I would guess they don't want the media to come to that, but maybe they'll let us watch. I don't know. But I'm guessing, they're probably not going to want the media to be there to watch, and getting film if they don't get in or anything. So I would still say it's 75-25. Maybe that's even being generous if they don't get in, but I there is a chance, folks. Every year there's a team that doesn't deserve to get in, or that people don't think deserve to get in, I guess you could say, that does. And keep in mind, there's 5 new committee members. There's 7 of the 12 committee members are from non-Power 5 schools. And so maybe the little guys, maybe the Mountain West gets a little more respect this year than hasn't gotten in previous years. I wouldn't say it's likely or plan for it, but I wouldn't say it's zero. So we'll see. Obviously, it's tough. Going to be a tough 22 hours, 21 hours, whatever it is, till Selection Sunday to find out if they're going to get in or not. 24 wins, 24-10, I believe, played for the Mountain West Championship for the second time in 4 years. And we'll have plenty of time to say, was this season a failure? Was it a success? We'll get to all that next week, and even beyond once the season's over. But I'm not ready to go there. Let's find out what happens tomorrow. Let's see if they get in the NCAA tournament, and let's just kind of go from there. So the flight the team is on, the flight that we were on, is delayed till 11:05 p.m. tonight. Won't take off till after midnight Boise time. We'll be getting back about 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll have Selection Sunday, and then who knows? Maybe I'm already just taking the same bag I already have packed right to the airport Monday to head to Dayton. Wouldn't that be fun? But you do feel for the players and the coaches that are ready to get home and now get to sit around the Las Vegas airport for an extra 3 hours because of this flight being delayed tonight. Just the way it goes sometimes. Tough luck on that one. But 72, what was the final tonight? 69-56. Boise State loses by 13. Again, story for me was the three-point shooting for Colorado State, 12 of 24, and the Broncos only was 6 second chance points. Just couldn't do enough on the offensive glass. Couldn't, win the way they did against San Diego State and New Mexico with the second chance points. And you just felt like when they got it to 5 there early in the second half, they had a chance, but they were just unable to do enough. And in the end, it's a disappointing loss in the championship. And now the Broncos will sit and find out their fate tomorrow with the rest of us at 4 o'clock Mountain Time on the NCAA Selection Show. Preston saying, appreciate the coverage. Thank you, Preston, for saying that. Very nice of you to say. Manny saying he has season tickets for basketball and is eager to renew them. So season's not over yet. A lot of, like I said, we'll write the final story on this one here moving forward once it's done. But for now, we wait for Selection Sunday. Disappointing loss, tough loss. Somebody's asking about the Crown Tourney. Andrew wants to know when that is. So the Crown Tournament starts. The first round is the day after the Elite Eight. So it's 2 weekends you have to wait, and then it's that next Monday. That whole week between the Elite Eight and the Final Four, that's when the Crown takes place, right there in Las Vegas. There's 4 games Monday, 4 games Tuesday, 2 games Wednesday, 2 games Thursday, and then the final 2, the Final Four of the Crown is actually on the same day as the real Final Four. It's just earlier in the day on Fox, and then it leads into the Final Four on CBS, and then the championship game of the Crown is on Sunday on Big Fox, leading into the NCAA championship game on Monday night. So the Crown is a new tournament. I think it is, I know some of you say, what's the Crown? Never heard of it, whatever, but you're going to have 2 Big 12 teams, and this is minimum, guaranteed, could be more, but 2 Big 10 teams, 2 Big 12 teams, 2 Big East teams. So you're going to have some named teams in this tournament, and you get to get some money too. The big deal that the Crown is that they pay you and they pay all your expenses. There's no cost involved. And not only that, they pay the players. So the players get paid to pay in this tournament. And I think that's, certainly a big part of this is getting your players paid. When is the Crown selection? That is tomorrow night as well. And they're making deals and things. I'm sure they will, I'm sure Boise State, if that's what they decide to do, will tell the Crown yes or no. And they'll already know if we don't get in the tournament, we're in the Crown. And that'll be a pretty quick thing, I think, is what happened. The Crown is the future of college sports with the NIL element. I agree. It is. And I've heard that, that it could put the NIT out of business, basically, with what, the model and what they could do in terms of paying players and things like that. This is going to be the premier tournament before too long. And with that, would winning the Crown tournament salvage things for fans in this season? Probably not. Tyson does have the record. It'd be nice to see him get to 2,000 career points. I think now he's about 30 away or so. I think he is within, 30 points or so of 2,000 for his career. That would be pretty cool to see him get to 2,000. But, overall, anything other than getting in the NCAA tournament when it's all said and done will, in fact, probably be seen as a disappointing season for Tyson and his team. Picked preseason to win the league, trying to get to 4 straight tournaments. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But yes, if they don't get in, it's probably could be seen, and it's okay to probably say it was a disappointing season. Now, does that say you fire the coaching staff and blow the whole thing up? Of course not. It's okay to have both, it's okay to say it's a disappointing season, but also not, demand crazy changes. I'm sure some folks will. But let's wait till tomorrow. Let's see what happens. We'll have some sort of show probably tomorrow night or maybe on Monday morning with Mike Prater, and we'll start to kind of put together where they're going and what's going on. As always, we'll have you covered. BroncoNationNews.com, all of our social media channels. Please subscribe if you can. BNN50 deals, the promo code. $50 gets you a full year subscription to Bronco Nation News. You can read Mike Prater, read Nathan Carroll, read myself, read all of our work. You get a daily email, all kinds of great content. You help BNN with expenses like this, and hopefully an expensive ticket on Monday to Dayton. Wouldn't that be something if we need to do that? So subscribe if you can. Use the promo code that's scrolling across your screen to get $20 off your first year. At a minimum, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our Facebook page, to our Twitter account. We'd love to have that. Tell your friends, retweet the videos, share them, help us continue to grow BNN. And at a minimum, this is an hour and 5-minute show you've been watching for free here on YouTube. At least go support the sponsors. Go eat at Taco Bell. Go into the Blue and Orange store to buy some gear. Switch your bank over to ICCU. Get that car from Lithia. Go get the 99-cent coffee from Jacksons. Support Matt Boucher, Lean Feast, all of our great sponsors. Go buy your next vehicle from Lithia, Florida, Boise, and use Row Painting for that painting project. And, I know it's, to this point hasn't been maybe the season that everybody wanted. But, again, we'll find out tomorrow really what it is. And I just, I've been saying all along that this team I just had a hunch, and I had a feeling this team's going to be in the NCAA tournament. And I don't know. We'll see. It wouldn't shock me if they somehow sneak in as that last team in, and who knows. We'll find out tomorrow for sure. But have a good rest of your evening, everybody. We're going to pack up, get over to the airport, and about 2:30 in the morning, get back to Boise, it sounds like, and get in bed about 3 o'clock in the morning. But it is what it is. We'll be following Selection Sunday tomorrow, and then hopefully get on a plane Monday to go to Dayton. Wouldn't that be something? So we'll find out tomorrow with all of you. And again, 69-56, the final. Boise State does fall in this one to Colorado State. The Broncos 24-10 to wrap up the regular season and the Mountain West tournament. We'll find out tomorrow their fate and where they're headed. Can they sneak in? Can they get that final at-large bid? Can they get a gift from the committee and take advantage of it? And we'll find out in less than 24 hours what's going to happen with this team. But hard-fought effort tonight, and it just didn't go their way tonight. Nate Staley, hey, appreciate the personal shots, calling me the worst. Nate, not going to lie, man. I really didn't want to go this direction for the final comment, but why not? The comment about here we are, March Leon shows up again. I just think that's unfair. I don't think in this situation that applies. They made the championship game of the tournament. They're 4-2 in March this year. They have a winning record in March the last 4 years. I just hate that narrative. I hate that narrative. I don't think that's fair for this team, for this game, to say that this is when March Leon showed up, because Colorado State hit 12 threes and Boise State was tired after playing 2 tough games and missed some shots. I just don't think that's fair, Nate. So, you want to put something on a public platform like Twitter, then that's fair game for folks to comment on. And I commented on it and said, I don't like that narrative. I don't like that thought. I am not trying to defend Leon Rice or carry his water, whatever people want to say. I just, there's certain folks that just love to wait around for something negative to happen. And I thought, Nate, that was, I don't like that narrative. Folks that immediately want to lean back on the, March struggles of Leon Rice or this program, or March Leon showing up again. I don't think that was the case today. They ran into a hot team in Colorado State, and they had a heck of a run to get to this point. They were 9-2 down the stretch to win a lot of games, and I just think that was an unfair comment. So, he says, am I the worst type of fan because of the comment? Yeah, folks that after a game like that immediately go to the March Leon returning, comment. I think that is the worst type of fan, because if you're a fan, you're going to realize that this program has still made some impressive, progress in the last couple of years. They're finally starting to raise the NIL money to bring in more players. They're trying to, increase the budget. They're, trying to do things. They've made the tournament 3 years in a row for the first time in program history. And like I said, they have a winning record in March the last 4 years. But the second they lose a game, which again, I think had very little to do with coaching. If you want to talk about, maybe some of the defensive things they could have done, certainly maybe there's something there. But I thought the last 2 games, Leon Rice made phenomenal halftime adjustments against both San Diego State and New Mexico. I thought Leon Rice made big adjustments that paid off. I mean, what do you want him to be held accountable for? What should he be held accountable for? I mean, there's no credit for the last 2 games when they made massive halftime adjustments. So again, I'm not on Boise State's payroll like some of you assume. I'm not getting a penny from them. I'm not here to defend Leon Rice. I just think folks are not reasonable sometimes with some of their criticism and some of their complaints, and they have this narrative that's just not true. Boise State has a winning record in March the last 4 years. They've made 3 tournaments in a row. What are you wanting Leon Rice held accountable for Colorado State hitting 12 threes and Boise State running out of gas down the stretch? Like what did Leon Rice do in this game that needs to be held accountable for? That's just a weird comment to make. So, I think you're a subscriber, Nate. I appreciate you. I thank you, but I'm sorry. It's my opinion. I just disagree with your statement. I disagree with your comment. And, if you don't want to be called out for it, don't tweet it. It's a public thing. I get called out for tweets I make. That's what it is. I put it out there on social media. It's public. If you got a problem with it, don't tweet it. I'm sorry, but I saw your comment and I just disagree. I think that I don't think this game had anything to do with coaching, and I don't think that they lost this game because Leon Rice March version of Leon Rice returned. That's just a silly statement to make. You don't like Leon Rice, you want him gone. I get it. That's fine. But to as soon as they lose a game because Colorado State has a first-round NBA draft pick and hit 12 3-pointers and Boise State ran out of gas down the stretch, did they play great? No. But was it Leon Rice March returning? I mean, that's just crazy to say. And so if you got a problem with, me calling you out, I apologize. It's nothing personal to you. I just think that kind of comment is just toxic right now and doesn't do anybody any good. And it's just flat out wrong. And that's just how I feel about it. So I figured there'd be more negative folks in the chat and the comments, and everybody was pretty tame for the most part. I think we had a lot of reasonable, rational fans in here. But I mean, if folks want to have a narrative that this team can't win in March when they've been in the championship game in the Mountain West tournament 2 of the last 4 years, that is what it is. It's nothing personal for anybody. I don't think Leon Rice's March version returned, and that's why they lost this game. That's just, you were waiting all March to say that, and you found your chance, they lost, and you tweeted it. But it makes no sense to me. So sorry, I just disagree flat out. But regardless, they lost the game. They're right on the bubble for the NCAA tournament, and we'll have to find out tomorrow what their fate is. But really appreciate all you guys for checking out the show. Again, please support the sponsors, help this thing continue to stay free of charge. Help us continue to be the only outlet that travels to the road games with the basketball team to provide you this kind of coverage. We can't do it without your subscriptions and without your support of our sponsors for making this thing possible. So disappointing game to this point. Yes, a disappointing season, but you know what? If they find a way to sneak in tomorrow, everything changes. So we'll find out tomorrow when you guys do. Again, appreciate all you guys. Really, really appreciate the support you guys give us in the comments and the likes and the shares and your subscriptions. But again, support the sponsors. Go to Jacksons, get the 99-cent coffee, get the hot dog deal tomorrow, and help us continue to build and grow this thing moving forward here. So I know everybody's frustrated, disappointing game. Yep, it stinks. It is what it is. We'll find out tomorrow their fate, and then we'll have some more big picture thoughts Monday on the season to this point. So hopefully get back to Boise tonight, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. I guess we'll get back tomorrow, 2 a.m. So, yep, we're wrapping up our coverage. Been a long few days down here in Las Vegas. Excited to get home and see my wife and kids, and maybe hopefully for a day, and then head back out again to Dayton. We'll see. But appreciate you guys. Been a long season, but it has been a fun one. It was a fun trip down here. They get to the championship game, and we'll find out tomorrow what the future has in store for this team. So big shout out to Jaden Finch, our intern, associate, part-time reporter, whatever you want to call him, student at Boise State, getting ready to graduate in May, and has done a tremendous job down here in Vegas helping us out. The only shame is that he's not 21 yet, so I was not able to buy him a beverage. But here in a couple of weeks when he turns 21, we'll make sure we make that happen. But thank you guys. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll see what happens together tomorrow. And as always, we'll have you covered. Bronco Nation News at bronconationnews.com. Signing off from the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Again, the final score, 69-56. Boise State falls in the championship game of the Mountain West Tournament. We'll find out what happens tomorrow. This has been the Jacksons Postgame Show from the Western Collective Studios, presented by our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. For Jaden Finch, for Jay Tuss, for all of the help we had down here in Vegas, my name is BJ Rains. Tomorrow, big day. We'll find out what happens on the selection show. Enjoy the next 24 hours until then, and we'll see what happens. Appreciate it, guys. Tough one for the Broncos, but we'll see what tomorrow has in store. And I'm holding out a little hope, folks. Keep the faith. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jacksons, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.
If you think I'm pretty, lay your hands on me. No, you can't stop thinking about it. I know that you're shitty and you're bad for me, but I can't stop thinking about it. If you think I'm pretty, lay your hands on me. No, you can't stop thinking about it. I know that you're shitty and you're bad for me, but I can't stop thinking about it.
Rowpaint.com is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. It's Coach Leon Rice and Andy Rowe.
Oh no. Want to just paint my house?
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
It's game day. Are you ready?
Let's go!